and CEO of Learning Through Art Incorporated, where we present books alive for kids, making books come alive through sight, sound, and touch for children in pre-K through 3rd grade. Welcome to our Make It Take It Craft Corner. Today, we're going to make the craft for our book selection entitled We Had a Picnic This Sunday Past, written by Jacqueline Woodson and illustrated by Diane Greenson. This is a story about a little girl and her family who have a wonderful time at a family picnic in a park. It gives us a wonderful opportunity to talk about healthy foods, healthy living, and exercise. So today we're going to make a placemat using all of the information that we find about the food pyramid at myplate.gov. Let's get started. First, let's see what we provide you in your book box, or in this case, your book bag. We give you 24 placemats, one for each of the students in your class, and you'll be working on both sides of those. And then we also give you 24 placemat cutouts. The first thing that we're going to do before we begin is to also talk about what you need to provide. You're going to need color markers and/or crayons. You will need glue. You will need a pair of scissors. And just so that you have some extra things to work with, I recommend that if you have a chance, stop by your store, your local grocery store, and pick up one of their circulars, or find yourself a wonderful magazine. I've brought my prevention magazine because I want to be able to cut items out that I can use to decorate both my placemat and that we can do some role playing with, like pretending to go to the grocery store and being able to add the cost of the things that we're buying, and also recognizing the healthy foods that we need to choose. So the first thing that we always want to do is put our name on our work. So at the very top, I'm going to write my name, and I'm going to write my name in black. That's Kathy. And then you can always be very creative and put your own little touch to your name. I like hearts, so I'm going to put hearts right around my name. And it will help me to remember to always be heart healthy. That means that I always want to make sure that I'm eating foods that will make me strong and not make me feel sluggish or make my heart slow down or anything like that. I want to be sure that I eat foods that are going to be healthy for me, and I want to exercise. So I have my name, and now if I look at my placemat, it will teach me how to set the table. As you can see, you have your fork and your napkin to your left side, and you have your knife and your spoon to your right side. Your knife sits right next to your plate, and your spoon sits right next to your knife. And then in the upper right-hand corner, I have my cup. We now know how to set our table or our placemat. And then we provide you the placemat cutouts. In this case, let's start with our spoon. As you can see, for your younger children, you may want to cut your placemat items out so that they're a little bit larger in case they can't get around the detail of the shape of the spoon. You also want to take any color that you choose. I'm going to use gray because it's flatware, and I'm going to color it in. I like coloring in my spoon just so, because it allows me to be reminded of the spoon that I will eat my fresh fruit with. And then you can take your scissors and follow the dashed line, cutting right on top of it. This will give your students an opportunity to practice their cutting skills, their listening skills by listening to the directions, and then making sure that they can see and follow the lines to cut. Now, you don't have to necessarily color within the lines of the spoon, but it's a wonderful opportunity to practice following the direction of coloring inside the line. So I have my spoon, like so, and I'm just going to set that there for a moment. You would do that with each one of your utensils. Let's take a quick look at our plate. As you can see on the plate, it is divided in the colors of the food pyramid. So you have purple, orange, red, and green. And as you look at the perimeter or the outside of the plate, you will see In that area, what food goes with that color? That's what the food pyramid is all about. So let's start with the color red. As you look on your placemat, you see that the color red indicates fruits and vegetables, and red is fruits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline my area that is red, and then I'm going to color inside of it. Now keep in mind, you can color outside of the lines, and they can blur over. It's entirely up to you. You get to be very creative, but we just recommend that you color that red. And just for safekeeping, and that I'm always reminded, I'm also going to outline the outside area in red so that I know that those items that are sitting there refer to fruits and or vegetables. In this case, it's our fruit. So I have my one section colored in. I'm going to take my spoon, I'm going to take my glue, and I'm going to put a dab of glue off of my placemat because you don't want to get glue on your placemat. And I'm going to put some at the top and down the middle and at the very bottom. I'm going to take my spoon, and where the word is located, spoon, I'm going to glue it right there. So I've already started setting my table. Now, we won't take the time to cut the rest of these out on the lines, but I do want to glue them down so that you get the full idea of what your placemat should look like, and more important, what your table should look like after you have glued down all of the items. So we glue that down, and then we're going to take our knife and we'll just glue that down. Now keep in mind, you can have your students cut them out on the line exactly, or you can leave them as they are in larger sizes. Glue that down. And then I'm also going to glue down my cup. And I put that up where? In the upper right-hand corner. So my table is set. And I can color these any color that I choose, as your students can do the same thing. Now, what about the portions? What size should I actually put, or how much food should I put on my plate? Well, we provide you on your placement cutout the different sizes that you want to think about putting on your plate when you're serving. And you also have exactly what those portions represent. So I like to take my 4 portion sizes and I cut them up in the squares separately. And I can even take these and take a moment to highlight the fingers, to color around them so that I will remember what this one is all about. This is emphasizing what portion I should use. When I think about my thumb, what does that represent? That's how much cheese you might want to use. So what I like to do is to cut them out, highlight them around the sides, put a little glue in the back, and I like to put mine up in a little off to the side. So as I look at my placemat, I can always look down at it and know exactly not only how to set my table, but how large my portion should be. Your thumb is how much cheese you would give. Your palm of your hand is how much lean meat you would eat on your plate. The tip, the very tip of your thumb would represent how much peanut butter I might want to eat. And then of course, my fist itself represents how much cereal or noodles I'd like to have on my plate. So I've started my plate and I've finished just a little bit on my first side, and then I want to flip it over. When I flip it over on the back side, I see my pyramid. And that's very important because even though we have myplate.gov, the USDA still recommends following my pyramid in terms of the food groups. So let's look at our food groups and let's use our colors. I'm going to pick red because it's one of my favorite colors. And as I look at my food pyramid, on the back side of your placemat, I actually have the color written out in words, red. I'm just going to cover that with the color. And then there's a line that points to where the red goes. And that would be that particular triangle, which is part of the entire food pyramid. So I would color that in. And yes, you can color outside of the lines. but you can color that in very simply so that anytime I look at the back side of my placemat, I will always remember that the color red indicates fruits, and that's where it falls on the food pyramid. The other thing I want to do on the back side of my pyramid is, since I went to the grocery store and picked up some circulars, I've decided that I would like to take some of the foods that I found inside the circular and cut them up and actually put them on the back side of my placemat so that I will always remember what is represented in that food group. When I'm not looking at the front of my food placemat, where it tells me exactly what the food is, I can look on the back and see a picture of it. That's why I got my circular. So I cut out, and these are cantaloupe. So where would the cantaloupe go? Right close to the fruit area. So right under fruits, I'm going to glue down my cantaloupe. Now, the other thing that I can do and that you might want to think about is taking magazines into your classroom. In this particular case, I decided to pull out my prevention magazine because there's all kinds of exercises in here. And I decided that I wanted to pick a picture of a representative exercise. And I'm cutting that out. And on the side, on the back part of my placemat, I want to be able to have pictures of actual things that you can do for exercising. So that picture goes there. And if you're very, very creative, you can draw your own picture for exercise. In this case, I'm just going to simply draw the stick version of me, and I will do in that picture, that's my hair, just the thing that I like to do the most when it comes to exercise. And what is that? I love to jump rope, and I love bright colors. So this is my jump rope that I'm about to go over. And let me put my gym shoes on very simply. And I love the color orange, as you can see. So I'm going to put on an orange top. And then I think I will put on some purple pants underneath that. And of course, a little color in my sneakers so that when I'm jumping, that color jumps all around. And of course, we can't forget my glasses. And we have to make those orange. So there we go. So that's our food, the second side of our placemat. And when we're finished with this placemat, that's just the beginning, this is what happens. We're then able, as you know, you get 24 cellophane envelopes, and you want to be able to slip your finished placemat into your envelope, pull off your strip right here, fold it over, and seal it, because you will be able to now take your placemat home to use as often as you choose. We want you to remember that when you look at your placemat, you will not only remember to eat healthy foods, and exercise. If you have any questions about this particular craft, please visit our website at www.learningthroughart.com and go to our resource center. All of the directions are right there. And while you're there, make sure you hit the link for the USDA so you can take a look at My Pyramid and myplate.gov. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon.